have a question for my viewers out there, however 2 or 3 many of you there are. Put yourself in the seat of the director of a movie studio. You are building a franchise based off comic book characters. Would you A, find writers and directors who love these characters, who grew up with these characters, who cherish these characters, and let them do their best, let them hold true to these characters? Or would you B, tell them to shut up, sit down, and do what you say because it doesn't matter if they're being nerdy or not. That's not what you want in the movie. Go ahead, take the time. I'm waiting. Okay, time's up. Even Kevin Feige thought the Marvel's directors was being too much of a nerd. First of all, I mean, this says all you need to know. Do I even have to make a video off this? Kevin Feige thought that Marvel's director was being too much of a nerd. I don't think you can be too much of a nerd when making a comic book movie. This article is from IGN. Let's get to it. Apparently, you can be too much of a nerd on the set of an MCU movie. Not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen a single nerd up there since Favreau, I think, actually. Entertainment Weekly dropped a new set of images in an interview with stars Brie Larson, Fiona Paris, and Iman Vellani, and director Nia DaCosta. While Miss Marvel star Vellani is known to be a huge comic book nerd, she's not alone, with DaCosta revealing that her biggest hurdle was being a little too attached to the source material. How how can you be too attached to source material? This sounds like some Witcher writing here. The biggest challenge was finding the balance between my point of view as the director and as a comic book nerd, told the outlet. Obviously, there are changes between comics and the movies. And sometimes I'm like, whoa, whoa. Sometimes Kevin Feige will be like, y'all being too much of a nerd. Please stop. This is terrible. DaCosta, who hasn't done anything but, you know, independent films and some school films, is the director of this movie. That's not saying she doesn't have the talent. That's just saying she doesn't have the years of experience, which doesn't mean much because even their directors with years of experience don't appear to know what they're doing. So, DaCosta, who broke out with 2018 indie Little Woods and directed 2021's Candyman reboot. Okay. I never watched it, but there's a little bit of experience. Added that she relates a lot to Miss Marvel, who is like the actress who plays her. It's famously a fangirl. Why is it every so-called female nerd out there identify with Miss Marvel? Not every female nerd, but the ones I'm aware of, the fake nerds. I'm not calling the Costa a fake nerd, but let me just get this out. Every fake nerd I know, they either identify with Squirrel Girl or Miss Marvel. I don't get it. I'm a big nerd from New York City, and here is this hero who has a big nerd from Jersey City. Writing fan fiction the way I used to. Okay. The way I used to write fan fiction at that age, that explains it. It was really fun to feel close to that character in that really specific way, in a way you don't often feel when it's Iron Man or Thor. Okay. That was so exciting to me knowing that I could be part of bringing this character who I've loved for a decade to the big screen. I'm not going to shame somebody for liking a character or a movie or anything like that, but Miss Marvel, really? For her part, Vellani revealed previously that she regularly has text conversations with Marvel Studio chief Feige to debate his choices from a fan's perspective. That is a good thing. That is absolutely a good thing. I don't know if this is true. let me let me say that. A lot of the crap that's been put out on Marvel, I don't necessarily know if this is true. However, if there is a legit fan in there fighting to keep the movie true to character, you know, if there is a legit fan in the studios fighting to actually keep these characters, these stories true to the comics, that is a good thing. Whether you like their work or not, that is a good thing. I've just learned to trust Iman or Eamon because she really has her timelines in order, Larson told EW. She's the one that's always schooling us. I wouldn't know how old Carol is without her. She really does the. What? Okay. The comments are like kind of hilarious. Weird piece of marketing, but okay. Most shows wouldn't go out of their way to tell the most shows. I think he means showrunners or whatever. Weird piece of marketing, but okay. Most shows wouldn't go out their way to tell the press that the director wanted it to be true to the source material, but was told no. Right? That's also what Netflix said to Henry Cavill. Yes! I find myself torn by a new phase of Marvel. I'm waist deep in the water. Yo, okay, so I'm not going to touch on the comments very much, but while I will leave a link to this article in the description below, I just want to point out that that comment. I have a family member who is the biggest simp for Marvel. She begged me to go with her to go see Eternals, and I said no. One, it looked like trash. Two, I was checked out before Endgame. Like Infinity War was enough for me. Of course, I watched Endgame, and it was a good movie. It had its issues, but I thought it closed out everything okay, despite how they butchered some characters. But she begged me to go with her to go see Eternals, and I was like, no, not happening. She walks out of that theater broken. She can't understand why she did not like the movie. She was like, I don't, it's not bad, but it's not, I don't know, maybe I just didn't get it. Really? Maybe you just didn't get it. It's supposed to be a mainstream movie for normies and you didn't get it? Well, no, perhaps it was just me. Perhaps I was just tired. I don't know. Girl, it was a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It was a bad movie. It was not a bad movie. This girl was in such denial. She convinced herself The Eternals was a good movie and there was something wrong with her. This is what Marvel fans are now. They don't know what good stuff is. Marvel, they think everything Marvel is going to be good just because it is Marvel. And when it's bad and when they feel it down deep inside, they convince themselves that they're the problem. Oh. Anyways, this just shows that Kevin Feige doesn't know what he's doing. He's not an actual comic book fan. What do you guys think about this mess? Just let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.